What's going on, everyone? This is Ishmael from Dad is Not a Noun, changing the narrative for men of color and fatherhood, but also changing the narrative about the things I care about. Before we go into this new episode, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor for this episode, VT Heroes, and I'm going to let them take over.
That shit back, right back.
I'm here to challenge the queen.
Okay, darling. Whatever you want.
VC Yellow.
VT Black.
Nunchaku.
3-hit combo. Need a gut. Punch to gut. Totem rush.
Heal.
So for you, yeah, yo. There whenever it matters, and even more when you feel like it doesn't. Protect you so you never feel like you wasn't. Know I'm right alongside you. Either that or I'm behind you, but always got you. End of discussion, nothing means more. First one to offer is shoulders for what you reach for. Thought I saw the eyes of the world until I seen yours. And know that I ain't see a better view yet. I'm with whatever, so don't ever you fret. Know that you covered, not a hurdle or a heartbreak. A change what a partake, cause none of them won't ever get comfortable in your walkway. My job is to aware you, fully loaded, prepare you for all of the above that I'm never letting get near you. But still in all, give you every advantage I found. Couldn't find a better fit for them, along with my crown. And since the baton was passed, I've been down. Cause failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Dad is Not a Noun, changing narrative about men of color and fatherhood, but also changing the narrative about the things I care about. And the things that I care about is blurred as well as mental health. And my special guest is one of the leaders when it comes to bringing people together when it comes to the blurred world. He is a personality in the podcast world. He's just an amazing brother, and I'm truly honored to have him on. Skip Dot 88, Blerdover, CEO. Brother has many names that we'll probably go into, but Skip 88, brother, welcome to the podcast. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm good. Thank you for having me on. Hey everybody, how y'all doing out there?
The main question I ask to all my guests is, how's your heart at this moment?
Oh man, my heart is good. I'm just blessed to be here, blessed to see another day. So it's always good to be in the land amongst the living. So I'm happy, very happy today.
And I hear that accent, man. You got that Southern hospitality going on there, man.
Oh yeah, proud from the South, Birmingham, Alabama, to be exact.
Nice. And just talk about that upbringing of that Southern hospitality. Talk about that.
Oh man, growing up in the South, your parents would teach you at the early age of how to talk to people, how to address people, how to treat others with respect, even though if you don't know them. Because if you ever go anywhere in life, you want to show that you was brought up in a good household by the teachings that your family taught you, not just your mom and dad, but your mom and dad, your grandmother, your grandfather, your uncles and aunties, because they went through the same thing when they were kids, taught by their parents, and they wanted us to have that generational thing just to go over to the next generation of the family, so we can teach our future kids how to treat and how to respect everybody. So,
What you do really well with your platform on IG in the podcast world is that you do that. You that Southern hospitality, you bring that to that world, which is important too, especially when the blurred world is important because in that world, when you talk about anime, tech, everything, we're excluded from that world. You have $1 billion industry and we're excluded. And to me, I look at you one of the important people in this world because you bring so many people together, whether it's from cosplay, Dungeons and Dragons, you name it. But just talk about that a little bit, that the importance of what you learned growing up from the South, bringing that into the blurred world to bring people together.
Oh man, that's just like, because I'm a blur, I'm a black nerd, and that's because of my mother, what she did. She brought me, I mean, everybody who don't know, but I'm gonna know to tell y'all this, but my first love, and I still love this to today, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that's all thanks to my mom. And from there on, it's just I kind of venture out more to see what was more out there. Then, you know, I got into Tom and Jerry, X-Men, Dragon Ball Z, and it just took off from there. Then growing up in, going to elementary school, they say, "Oh, you a black nerd." I was like, "Well, if I'm a black nerd, I'm a black nerd." But I'm not going to act different. I'm not going to mistreat somebody because of what I like. But other people growing up, kids back then was bullies, and which is still going on today. But it's kind of like I started looking back, started paying attention to stuff. Kind of like, so what is wrong with me for being a black nerd, for liking the stuff I like? I'm black. Being black in America is a struggle anyway. But now you being a black nerd, so that's kind of like a double standard of struggling. So from then on, got older, started liking more stuff, watching more anime, playing more video games. Then going to my first convention, and to my crew member, he helped me out. Static Drones cosplay. He said, let's cosplay what you want to cosplay, something that you grew up with, that you kind of like. And my first cosplay I did was number one from Codename Kids Next Door, and I went to Comic-Con. And going to Comic-Con, seeing everything, seeing all the great cosplayers, seeing all the great vendors, the content creators that was there, they invited. I was like, it was cool, but it wasn't many of African Americans that was there as special guests. And you'll see, your brother and sister, African Americans of the race, walking around in their cosplays. And it's like people walk up and say, "You got a good cosplay. That's a great cosplay." But we know that character isn't black. But that was a good cosplay. Oh, you the black version of, Goku. You the black version of that. That's like, oh, okay. You don't have to say the color because, we know we black, but we just here to just cosplaying. But, thank you. But drop the color. That's call me Goku. And from then on, it just got more and more outrageous because like you said, this is a $1 billion industry, and now we just got a voice in it. Because shout out to Black Sands Entertainment, they are local here, they are from Homewood, but shout out to Black Sands Entertainment for changing the outcome, and Kevin Hart and Mark Cuban for doing that. Now we have a voice, but back then we really didn't have a voice. We were left out because you black and you're a nerd. So from the African American aspect, like, this is not what black folks do. What we don't play games, we don't watch anime, we don't dress up as cosplay. That's what white folks do. Yeah. Then from the white side, you get like, you are you really a nerd, or this is what y'all really do? So it's a double standard. It's kind of like, damn, where do I fit in it? Yeah. So I can't get the support from my own people, and I know I'm not going to get the support from the white America side. So it's kind of like, where do I fall in that? And then that goes back to the list that my parents and my family told me, like, doesn't matter what the person look, you just you go by that person's character. Right. And I learned that, so I say, what, let's kind of, let me think of something that I could do to help, if I could try to mend the gap with being black and being a nerd. And that's why I came up with, Blerdover. So it's like, to show people that I'm a black nerd, and it's okay. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be different. And, and try to make it amongst, Blur is for black people, but it's also to show that other races that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay. It doesn't matter your color, your ethnicity, your religion. If I'm a nerd, I'm a nerd. Let's see me as a nerd.
And I think that's a powerful thing because when I think of Blurred, I'm going way back. I don't think you're my age, or you might be my age, but I think of Revenge of the Nerds
Mm.
and the one black character in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Like to me, he's like the OG when it comes to Blurred. If you think about it,
I can see that.
you know what I mean. And he kind of stuck out the most because he was the most flamboyant, but at the same time, he knew who he was as a person. He didn't care what anybody said. He was comfortable with his skin, and I think that's the moral story of that character from Revenge of the Nerds. And being in a Blur is being comfortable in your skin, no matter what.
Exactly, and there it is. Like, you know what? And he put me on something new. It's like, damn, he was like the really first black nerd. Like, damn, that's deep. That's deep.
But but it's true. And if you think about it, if you go like later or in like TV, you had Steve Urkel, you had the young kid from Smart Guy.
Yes.
I mean, you had so many people that was kind of representing us on a low level. But if you think about it now, there's a doubt that they made an impact on our lives when we were young. You know what I'm saying?
I would have to say yes, because you seeing this on TV, you seeing this on movies and shows, kind of like, wow, so this is successful, so I can start coming out more and let people know that how I am. But then again, you think about it, it's like, well, that's a TV show. I wonder, are they like this in real life? And then you go and see their person. Well, at the time we didn't have Facebook or anything like that, but you start learning people and see how they are. It's like, oh, they actually like this, so they got a show that's to show that they are nerd, but they acting, but outside of their acting job, this is how they really are. And it was shows like that that kind of had inspired some people to go out and do it. But then again, they had that thought in the back of the minds, like, well, they famous, this is a TV show, so I'm really probably not gonna get that much love like they get love, because don't nobody really know me. Like, why should I do this? But it was really nothing out there at the time for black nerds to come out and be themselves and to find other people that are like them.
And that's important too. And like, what started first? Was it the IG or the podcast? What came first?
Actually, the IG came first. And starting off, I just wanted to see if people really going to support the idea of what I got. So I just type messages, finding these cosplayers, like, hey, my name is Michael Blair. I'm trying to start up a organization, a nonprofit that's to uplift and have a safe haven for African Americans and POC of the nerd community. And I like your cosplay. Would it be okay for me to feature your cosplay on my beginning page? And it's like, sure, yeah. So I personally, I posted the first pad fix, and it's kind of like maybe 200 people start following. That's like, okay. And then more of my mouth started to think, it's like, okay, that's cool. So, not downgrading anybody else that's doing what they had been doing before I came on the scene. That's like, okay, that's cool. So what's another route I can reach out to more people, and just to see, that's to break the curse. It's like, it's okay to be, it's cool to be a nerd. So I was like, you know what? What would happen if I started doing interviews and a podcast? How would that be? So then came the podcast and the interviews. I said, but I think I was more focused on the interviews than the podcast, because I would like have me and you having this conversation. Like, I love this. Like, this is what we need more of. And it's like, okay, so let me venture out and try to contact some people to see if they want to be interviewed, so other people can see, like, how me and dad is not a now, how we having our conversation. Let's see if we can get more people engaged into our conversation and feel comfortable us and hearing our conversation. And then they took off with the interview. So I've been interviewing everybody ever since, and it's awesome just to hear everybody's side of their upbringing, of what they've been through, or what they had to, had to press through of being a black nerd. And that's how everything from Blerdover actually took off from the interview, from the IG, the interviews, and the podcast.
And it was amazing. I love how geniusly you took your IG interviews and then you took it and you put it into audio where, people can get it through Spotify, iPhone, Apple and all those audio platforms. And now I see you slowly putting it on YouTube, which I love what you're doing too. It's like now you can check out me in like video and audio having a conversation with people that's in that world, which is an important thing, because now people get their platform in different elements, and so if you can reach everyone in different platforms, that's the most important thing. And I love what you're doing, and it's just amazing to create something and then people gravitate to it.
Yeah,
it's
I'm sorry, Miko, go ahead.
No. I was saying that it and how it all started was all organically. It wasn't like company manufactured. It was like grassroots. Talk about that, man, because it's amazing what you're doing, man.
It's I still tell this story. It's like it kind of blows my mind that an idea I had in mind, because we all see the TV commercials, the school talks, you could be the change, you could be the difference. It just takes an idea in your head. Because being a kid is kind of like, oh man, I don't know what you're talking about. You got to be rich, you got to have money, people actually gotta like you, you got to be funny and everything. But I was kind of like, at the beginning stage of everything. Well, let me tell this story, because people don't know this one. Okay. So I actually started off with something called being a black Greek. That's a geek, because I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So I started off that was my first. I was like, okay, let's see if it's some Greek members that are some black nerds. So I started putting it out there. It didn't happen like the way I wanted to happen. So I'm like, okay, I can understand that. But you keep the goal in mind, but you find another way to get how you want to get that goal. That was a good idea. It failed. And some people need to realize it's okay to fail, because Denzel Washington said this best. He said, you fall down 6, you get up 7. Or you fall down 7, you get up 8. So once you stop getting up, that's when you defeat it. So you keep trying. So I was like, okay. And that's when I kind of like realized, like, the story I said before, like, oh, you're a black Goku, or, it's not okay to be a black nerd. Okay, so let me try this. So I started it from the name Blerdover, hence from the word takeover. We're not trying to take over, but we're making our African American race known in the nerd community now. So it's Blerdover. So it's going to be an influx and influencers of black excellence in the nerd community. And from there, I just took off, from the process of the podcast, the interviews, the cosplay, being in the community, like for all the charity events that I got my organization doing. And from there, it's kind of like so unreal now, because it's like, wow, people are actually taking off and actually supporting this idea to Blerdover. I never would have thought. And it's very humbling, because like from being from the South again, growing up in a Christian household, like a saying, like, what God gives, God takes, and you always got to remain humble in everything you do. Don't forget where you come from, because if you get where you come from, you never know where you're going in your future. Right. So that's the family base, that Christian family base that my family taught me. That's remain humble and believe, put God first, keep praying, have the faith as small as a mustard seed, and you just keep going with it. And ever since then, this has been a beautiful journey. It's just so unreal. Like, I never thought I would be on somebody's show like yours that's to talk about this. Kind of like You sure you know what I do, right? You sure you want to have me on your show? Like, are you positive? You see, okay, all right. I'm all for it. I'm never going to turn down the interview. I was like, but you know what I do, right? Okay, let's go for it. I'm with it.
And it is amazing too, is that you turn something that you love into a business.
Yes, I mean,
Think about that.
yeah, and that's crazy. And then people say, "Oh, you need to make money." That's like it's not about making money. It's not about being famous. It's about doing right for people who was like you as a kid growing up. Because you probably could tell this from me for Dad, that back then y'all didn't have nothing like this growing up. You didn't have like a safe space to find other black people that were like you and me talking about this stuff. Because y'all didn't have the internet. Y'all didn't have like.
Oh, I had the internet.
Yeah. Okay.
I had AOL.
Right. Oh, okay.
I had the old school modem.
Oh, yo, you had to
plug
the phone. Had to plug the phone into.
Yeah, like if you pick the phone up, you fuck the internet up.
oh man. But well, my bad. So yeah, he did. He had to. If y'all don't know about AOL, y'all need to Google it. But that was some trying times. That one phone call. You knocked me off the modem. My bad.
Hey, your mom's like, what modem?
You know what, Mom? You right. It's your house. You pay the phone bill. I'm gonna go ahead and read the book. But hey, and that's hearing stuff like you, and hearing from the older blurs that didn't even know there was a term. But I was a black nerd. They didn't even have the term blurred. So it's kind of like, what was y'all? I was like, well, I was still a baby, so I didn't know what was going on at the time. I'm sorry that I was born late. But just hearing older blur's story about how they were treated and how they are very appreciative of what's going on now, what the younger generation is doing, and how they making it mainstream now.
Right. And I love how you're creating, I don't know if you realize it, you're creating this form of ecosystem when it comes to the blurred world. Like, you have Black Sands that's doing their thing, but at the same time, they need a place where they need to like promote their stuff. Because if you think of like the major Black social media, you don't see anything blurred. The only time you'll see it is like the thing that I saw on your post with the little Black girl in the Spider-Man outfit.
Yes.
And you see how that blew up.
Yes. That took off. And and I can understand like what you said from seeing the major Black platform. Like there really isn't much blurred stuff on there, but you got stuff like females twerking, people fighting, people shooting, game fights, basketball players, football players. I was like, okay, that's cool, but there's another realm of blackness that y'all missing out on. You got Black punk rock, you got Black comic creators, you got Black game streamers, cosplayers that needs to be seen, because that can inspire more people to take this community to another place. Okay, forget all the negative stuff. Let's forget all of that. There are more positive Black creators out there that needs to be seen, and they don't have they shine because we so gung ho and program to all the negative stuff that the media see us as Black people. We are more than that, people. Like little baby girl with the puffs, the Spider-Man. That was inspirational. That could inspire like another kid to do that.
Yeah.
That's what we need more of. And like the other kids, the one that did the Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
The Ash Ketchum, and the one that did, because this little girl inspired me to do something awesome. She did a punk rock version of Harry Potter.
That's dope.
And that I said, that's not Black girl magic at its best. I was like, that go hard. I don't care what nobody say. That went hard. And that right there, it shows that their mom introduced them into something that is positive. I don't know who inspired the mom to let the kids do that, but it may have been a cosplayer, it may be a game stream, it may have been somebody that makes that's a Black author that's making a comment that inspired her to let her kids be who they were.
Yeah. And that's important too. And that segues to my other question, mentorship. Like I know you're not a dad, but I see dad and father and mentorship and fatherhood as one and the same. There was someone that inspired you, but you're also inspiring other people. I know you don't see it because you're doing your thing and you love what you're doing. Like one of my favorite interviews you did on IG Live was when you had the father and son. I think that was last week.
Do you speak geek? Yeah.
That interview was dope because you had the father and son invested in what they love to do. You know what I mean? And they
Yes.
created something that's for them. But yeah, just talk about that. Talk about the mentorship in that too.
Oh man, that's like growing like I looked up to all my uncles, my father, everybody growing up. Then going to school, I had one of my great mentors. His name is Terry Porter. He was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, and he was my soccer coach and my basketball coach. And he was teaching us things because he really wanted me to be a Kappa. No offense to the Kappas, but I'm proud member of Phi Beta Sigma. Shout out to the Kappas, but Kappa Alpha Psi. Talk to me, tell me, y'all, because y'all the generation that could change everything. I was just like y'all in y'all seats. I had somebody to guide me and tell me that you could do anything. It's possible. Just have a little faith, have the drive, and have the passion. You could do it. From middle school to high school, meeting somebody, another mentor, David Miller, a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So I was like, okay, playing basketball. He was a preacher. And going to his lessons and watching him coach me, everything inspired me to do more. So it pursued me to go to college, just to go into law, which I am a police officer now in the city of Birmingham. So I had got my associate's degree in criminal justice. And you know what? I'm kind of mad that, somebody told me you really don't have to go to school to be successful. I wish somebody would have, gave me that speech. But but kids, go to school. I mean, if that's your drive, it's okay. But there are other aspects out there for you to be successful in life. I promise you it is. I'm not saying college is not bad,
Right.
but if it's not for you, by all means, don't look bad. Don't look bad on it. It's not meant for everybody. You could go to trade school, you could learn to trade, you could do anything to be successful. Yeah, because I want to say, oh, Dad, it's not now. You got him on who said don't go to college? No. We not promoting it.
No, I definitely go. I understand where you're coming from. It's important. Trading school. There's other alternatives to
Right.
be successful. And often what happens is we live in the social media world. It's about chasing the bag. Like, oh, you could be this famous. No. You can make a decent amount of money being a welder. Make good money being a welder. Be a garbage man. Whatever makes you happy and you sustain your livability. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and also, and like what you said, invest your money, and it can grow. And now going to college, just learning about these Greek fraternities, learning about the history, about why Black Greek fraternities was made, and and it's kind of like in a sense of what Blerd is. Black Greek fraternities were made for Black people who couldn't join these white organizations back then. So this is why the Black Greek organizations were made. It's kind of like what we're doing right now. This is why Blerd was made. Blerd was made because we wasn't accepted amongst the white brothers and sisters,
Right.
and not even amongst our brothers and sisters on African American aspects. So this is why Blerd was made. So Black Greeks and Blerd kind of got the history story hand in hand. And from then on, this learning that my dad was a member of Omega Psi Phi, because I looked up to my dad. He was he's a judge and a lawyer. He's retired now. So the lessons he taught me, because when I first went to him about it, he's like, that's a good idea, because I was a Black geek, and what you doing? I wish you would have was been born earlier. I was like, I definitely support this.
Wow.
So, and he said, yeah, I'm all for it. Just keep I know it's hard to do it by yourself sometimes, but it's best to do it by yourself, because you really don't have to depend on people to work with you. Because he said something to me. I was like, he's like that, it's you want people to work and act and think like you. But I said, Dad, think about it. It's only one me. It can't be no duplicate copies of me.
That's
So he
right.
said, that is true. So it's kind of hard to have somebody on the same page as you to see your vision, because you can't have somebody to see your vision because they got something else planned in their own mind. And from then on, that mentorship that I has been brought up from all these great guys, and from my uncle being a member of Phi Beta Sigma, and he's a preacher as well. So from my fraternity, with and the motto, the lessons they taught was brotherhood, scholarship, and service. And the motto is, culture for service, service for humanity. I take that to heart, which is why I made Blerdover, because my fraternity is the people frat. We like to help and be involved with the people in our community, and it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you support your community. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna take the aspect of that and put it towards my brothers and sisters in the Blerd community. Cultures for service, service for humanity. It's a service for my brothers and sisters like me and you that are out here that are still struggling. And I figured though, it's still some more black and some black nerds out there that are afraid to come out and to be a Blerd, because still it's now it's mainstream, but it feels like I still don't know. I'm still not unsure. And from that, it's kind of like being a father. The kid is born. You guide your kid. You teach them from right and wrong. You teach them the lessons about life. You teach them how a man should treat his fellow brother and also treat his fellow queen in the world. And just know that life is not fair. It's gonna be some struggles. It's gonna be sometimes you're gonna cry. It's gonna be sometimes you're gonna yell. I had this experience to me because you was there when it happened. It's gonna be sometimes where you just feel like giving up.
Yeah.
And that feeling sucks. But in the end, just know that you're going to make it. It's gonna be all right, because I'm going to be by your side no matter what, to help you through this process called life. Now, I may not be here for the rest of your life, but I promise you that I'm gonna make every day count. So once I'm gone and transition to the next life, you know what steps and you know how to do everything because of what I taught you.
And I think that's important, because what you're doing and what the Blerd universe is doing is what the OGs for like decades are trying to figure out. How do we connect with the youth? And you're doing that. The Blerd universe is doing that. And so I just want to put that out there. That's live receipt for everybody to listen to, is that if you want to figure out how can you connect with the youth, be in the Blerd world. Learn it. Educate yourself in there. Because there's kids out there that watch the stuff that we watch, and that's how you can find common ground with them. That's how you can build trust from them. Exactly. So again, I'm not going to repeat it again. All you have to do is rewind what I said, play it a couple times, so it can just kind of sink in your head that, all right, this is how I can get to the younger generation. But segueing to what you were saying earlier about feeling given up, talk about the mental health, because what I love about what you're doing with your platform is that you're creating a space for people to come together and not feel like they're belittled because they love cosplay. Mm-hmm. They're grown-ass men, they love anime. Grown-ass men that love video games. We still live in a society where they still get kind of frowned upon, that they like that. They have their 9-to-5 job, they work, they pay their bills, they take care of their family. They're not into sports. That's what they love to do. So just talk about that aspect.
So that aspect, like us, it was a time where like this New Year started, and then I had like a little mental breakdown because I felt like giving up and just stop doing what I'm doing, and because it's this, I don't know, it's in the back of my mind, because people, you hate to fail, but it just kind of weighed me down. Then that day, it just got the best of me. So I just want to be down and out, and This is when the community stepped up. I was shocked to see all these messages. Somebody actually made me a book of all the comments and everything people said under that post. And the post that took me by surprise, that had me in tears, was when Hey Girl said what she said. So I was like, wow. So actually, people are really out here supporting me, and me is in Michael Blair, not Skip.88. People are actually concerned and worried about my mental health. Because, I'm always out there reaching out to them. They feel like, you know what? No, I think we need to see if Michael Blair is okay. Not Skip.88, not Blerdover, but Michael Blair, to see if he okay. And that's the outpours, the people calling, the messages, the comments. That was inspiring. And, it's okay. And then with mental health, it's a serious issue. And some people need a place to vent, to show their creativity, to reach out for help sometime. And because growing up in a Black household, we was always taught what happens in the house stays in the house.
Yep.
Hey, it's just like, hey, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just going through something, take this medicine. But no, it's a cry for help. People really need help. And it's okay to go talk to a therapist or see a psychiatrist. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're crazy. No. It just means you just want to have a sane mind and keep yourself in a mental state of where you are okay. Because you never want to get that bipolar, schizophrenic, Alzheimer's. Because these are serious conditions that can affect you for the rest of your life and your family as well. So it's okay. It's okay to play video games. It's okay to cosplay. It's okay to go to conventions. It's okay for you and your daughter and your son to make TikToks. That's a way to keep your mental state at ease, because you are having fun, you are expressing yourself, and you building up those chemicals that are releasing, that mental state of your mind, to have that relaxed type of feeling. So it's okay. I mean, and people not gonna understand it, because people say, "Oh, you too grown to do this. You too grown to dress up. You too grown to be talking to this man who is married."
And
What you mean?
Right, and you too grown to be in my fucking business.
Exactly. And then it was a TikTok that I love to this day. Somebody made a TikTok like, "Oh, you too grown to be doing it." Somebody said, "I am happy. I'm living my best life. Leave me alone." And that's what some people got to realize. I am happy. Yeah. I'm okay. Guess what? If this most popular chick then is not gonna talk to me, I bet it's a bird or a nerd girl out there that loves me, that loves what I do, and loves what I think, and loves how I do things, that she gonna be with me. I'm okay. I will be all right. So mental health, like, reach out, please. Like I had to reach out to people when I had my mental breakdown. It's okay. It does not make you crazy to talk to somebody about what you're going through, because the person you might talk to, they may have experience or went through the same thing that you're going through right now, and they can give you an answer to your solution. And if not, they could talk you through it. They could help you, or they could guide you to somebody that can help you with your problem.
You know what? We need to collaborate on something where we get a therapist to dress up as cosplay character and have a therapy in cosplay.
Hey, that's not a bad idea at all. That is not a bad idea. That actually could work wonders too.
I'm just saying, there's a black therapist out there that's probably a cosplay in hiding. So if we can get them out of the shell to just say, "Hey, just dress in cosplay and offer your service in cosplay."
Right. Hey, Dad is not a no. Hey, he coming up with some genius ideas over here. Y'all better get on board with it.
Yeah, man, that's free of charge right there, because that's what I do, man. It's all love. I love my people, and I love what they're doing. I love what you're doing. And one of the important phrases I always say, I say it all the time, is that when it comes to mental health, you are not a burden. You're my brother. So if you feel like you're in that space, that dark space, call, text. I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name. He has a situation, and I made it my duty to check on him. And so we set up a system where I reach out to him via Zoom or just a phone call every Tuesday, where I just check on him and say, "Hey, are you good? What are you doing? Are you going to your therapist? What are the things that you're doing to keep you on that path? And I feel like,
Mm.
too, the most important thing is that we live in this world where we're in our own little bubble. And so being in our own little bubble, we
Mm-hmm.
forget about the other people that's around us. And that one
Right.
phone call may, or that one positive message may change the outcome of that person's life.
Mm. Big facts. Yes. True.
And I just want to let you know, man, what you're doing the same thing. You may not realize it because you love what you're doing, but you're impacting so many people's lives. And I want to let you know that, man. And I want to thank you for doing that.
Appreciate it, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the love of support. And I really do appreciate it. I do apologize for that mental breakdown, but that would never happen again. I promise you it won't.
But that's the one thing, man. Just embrace that you're broken, but you can be fixed.
Right. You're right about that. Yeah.
I want
Because,
that to be the common theme in your head every time you think that way. Just say, I'm broken, but I can be fixed. Embrace that you're
right.
broken. We're all broken. Because the worst people who denies it are the ones that's 10 times worse.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly right. Man,
And I
that's
just
deep.
want to let you know, bro. I'm like a DM away. If you want to talk, this platform is your platform. Anytime you want to come on to talk about mental health, anything, you have a platform here. But before we go, what's the next thing for Blerdover? What do we got next? A Comic-Con? A Blerdover Comic-Con? What's going on?
Oh man, well, that's gonna be in the process. We're gonna be on down the line, but we're gonna work on that. So far, well, we got another charity event where we are collecting. It's gonna be an ongoing event if people want to participate. We're going to be collecting men's and women's underwear of all sizes to collect and donate to homeless people here in Birmingham and also to homeless shelters here. Because like these people, what happened, why I came up with this idea, because I was at a women's shelter. We had a call, me being a police officer, so I'm being like two people at one time at my job. I'm being a police officer and I'm being a person that loves my community. Lady came in, she had a bed, she had hot food, she had somewhere to sleep at night, but the thing that made her broke down, she did not have a clean pair of underwear.
Wow.
And that kind of like set her off, because she could have all this stuff, but having something clean that that people actually eat, that me and you could have, that we can go get faithfully, it's not easy for the less fortunate people to get that. And they got to wear the same stuff almost 3 years before they get
Yeah.
something new. And that's frightening. And coming to a shelter where that's supposed to be a place of comfort, they're supposed to have everything, and you telling her that, well, we see what we can do, and we know what that means. Kind of like,
Yeah.
we don't have it, but let's tell her that, and that hurts you as a person.
Yeah.
And some people looked upon me like, dude, that's kind of creepy. That's like, we in a society now where why you try to collect men and women underwear? I was like, bro, because me and you can get this every day.
Yeah.
But this person, we sleeping on the street. You think
They don't.
he can get that every day? No, he got to steal it. And of course, when they steal it, they gonna call me to come arrest him. I was like, bro, why you steal underwear? I like, put that on the counter. I buy it for you.
Right.
But they don't have that type of essence like me and you do.
Right.
That's a struggle. Let's say me and you was living on the street. Could you live a whole 2 weeks wearing the same underwear every day?
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. So that's what we collecting. We're doing that for the homeless. We got a wish list on our page in the bio. If you want to click on the link, you can. If you want to donate money, it's $ Blerdover19 and Cash Out. And yeah, that's what we're doing now. Then also we're also featured a special guest at Comic-Con here. We are a special guest at Comic-Con, which we have our own table. We're going to have panels. And one of the panels is called Being a Blerd, where how me and you talking, and we're going to talk about being a blerd. We're going to have people stand up, tell their stories, tell our stories, and tell them how they are important, they are loved. Man, you are not the only one out here. Have a general conversation with the Black cosplayers in the nerd community. And we are also doing a blerding out which is like a game show from the game Wild and Out, hosted by Nick Cannon. So we're gonna do the games they do on there, but we're gonna put our nerd and blurred drip on it. And also we're doing a black cosplayer photo shoot of all the black nerds that's going to be there. So be on the lookout for that. And so far, that's really it. That's what we got going on over at Blerdover.
That's dope, man. I can't wait. All those links will be on the description below. Brother, thank you for jumping on, man. Thank you for risking your life every day, because people don't understand, you know, the highs and lows of being a person on the being a police officer. And then, you know, so again, thank you for that. Thank you for what you do, man. This has been an amazing conversation. Please, everyone out there, like, subscribe, follow Dad Is Not a Now, follow Blurred Is Over, man. Great content just across the board, man. Again, brother, thank you, and we're out.
Thank you, sir.
Peace.
All right, y'all take care.